Hi there, welcome back to a little more Hardcore Grim Dawn, QuestySparks, Lightning Totems, and Bloody Pox. And we're picking up, same session as last episode. And we're standing right here next to this, I'd always believed lady. I'm not entirely sure looking at her now. I'm not passing judgments. It's a soldier. We're back in Homestead. We just popped back and ended the episode. So at the beginning of this episode, we'll be starting by cashing in the quests that we've completed, possibly picking up some future stages, and then we're going to press on. But we'll start here talking with Captain Summer.
That Lysandra and a couple others have returned safely from captivity, all thanks to you. We thought they were as good as dead after they disappeared in the Blood Grove.
Again, like the voice acting on this one, I'm really trending towards Lady Soldier, but it's just ambiguous enough. All right, so anyway, yeah, we're gonna let her know that we're on the job when it comes to stopping the cult, the Bloodsworn.
The Legion was forced to abandon the capital. We made Fort Icon our new.
Yeah, okay, so she's kind of telling us, that Fort Icon is where they're holed up because obviously the Empire, like we're in like a very outskirts area of the Empire, but obviously shit's gone down elsewhere. It's a global invasion, right? So we're kind of on the outskirts of it. So I'm going to go ahead, pump a few more points into Spirit here. And I'm actually going to, not only level up, but then, and as I said last time, we are trying to up those resistances. You can see those rapidly climbing there, the Pierce and Ether resistance. Those are very handy. And a little bit of armor and defensive ability as well. Defensive ability in this is part of what helps mitigate crits. So if you want to not die to burst damage, it's a good thing to have. But I did also remember that we cleared a shrine last time and we didn't assign our point. So now it's time for me to remember what it is I was leveling up. Now, ultimately, this is our sort of short-term goal. As you can see here, we have not got the requirements for either of these, but I think we were working on... let's see, we just done that. I thought I was working on something that was going to yield the remainder of the blue that I needed. But I can't remember what that might have been. So, was it this? No, it wasn't that. It was this. Okay. Yeah, we're grabbing eel. That's right. Because of these defensive options there. The % chance to avoid projectiles and melee attacks. And then here we're getting that pierce resist, which is nice, but we're also getting 6% move speed. Grabbing move speed anywhere here, it sort of helps. Like, it gives you options. There is a pretty low cap on move speed in this game. So you can't just infinitely stack it, obviously. But it does open options, right? Like you can, you might not be bound directly to using move speed boots and a move speed add-on on your boots, for example. You might not need that if you're pulling it in from other sources. So always handy to have on the tree there. Okay, so we've cashed in a couple quests here. We are not quite done caching though. We're gonna go and stop at Sorrow's Bastion on the way out of here because we've got the decaying remains of Malkoran, who is somebody they would like to bring back to unlife. So we'll go drop in there, let them know we got the remains, and then carry on collecting the requirements for the ritual that we will later get to assist in what is a pretty tough fight sometimes, depending on your character. I don't think I'll have any problem with this guy because he's so mobile. All right, there you go. There's your remains. Now they want me to pick up... yeah, chthonic seals of binding. This one I actually can, if I had been thinking, I would have just grabbed them out of the bank and come right back up here, which I'm going to do now because it's something that you can bank from other characters. They're just crafting mats. So I have those, and I'm going to grab them. Not that we wouldn't recover them, but just that I can kick forward the next stage of the quest so that when I run into it, I will be ready to go. And as I was saying, I'll just drop that off so you can play with it. As I was saying, like this upcoming stage of the quest is actually something that I did want that ether resist for. You can see we went up from 24 to 36 by assigning those points already in my Mugdragon's Pact. So that's something that we're going to want to keep doing. And I'm going to want to ditch this shit off because I'm carrying around a lot of stuff I could lose if I die. Okay, the other thing I want to check is how many of those chthonic seals do we need? We only need one more out of our storage. So let's grab that now. You can see I got 77 of them stored here, so this isn't going to break the bank. All right, so there we go. We'll stack that in there. And then I'm going to stow a bunch of this here. Most of the stuff I picked up now, I do want to keep. So I'm just going to start dumping this into my item assistant here. Except for that. That is shit. And that is the reward that we got for saving Ralia, the witch who was going to be burned in the last episode there. So I'm like, why did I pick that up? It's like, well, to be polite, basically, is why I picked that up. But we are going to sell that because it's kind of shit. And then I'll just go ahead and stow these crafting mats as well, and then we'll get on our way and start exploring again. What's this? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we want that. Do we want to wear that now? Yeah, I would think we do. We probably want to wear that instead of the blood seal that we're wearing. Okay, so let's drop that in there. We'll throw that in the item assistant. Now, what do we want to put on this? We had polished emerald on there, but those are getting to be some pretty low numbers. We can probably do better. You know, stuff like this might be good. Plus 15% LE damage and a little more energy regen. That could be good. I don't have anything on this ring either. I suppose grabbing that 15% LE resist or LE damage is probably a pretty good idea. That'll give us another 30% damage. So let's make that combo on both of the rings here. Man, we got some stuff that we could really do with replacing. That might be something I do. It's not great, but it's fine. I'll stow it. I might take a little bit of a gander through the item assistant and see if I have any stuff. Maybe what I'll do is I'll save that for like level 40 here, which we're going to probably reach around the end of the session today. And I'll see if there's any goodies that I can add to the character. I can't remember when the last time I actually did a search like that was. So, you know, there could be some enhancements available. Just checking in with those guys. I haven't done anything yet that's going to open up more quests from them. All right, so let's get back on track here. We're going to stop at Sorrow's Bastion again. Like I say, I should have been thinking of this. I should have brought that with me the first time, but that would be efficient. So it's not how I roll. So I'm going to drop in here. We'll cache this. They're going to give us the next stage of the quest, which is actually a little bit of an exciting one. Because essentially what it does is it spawns a skull boss in an area that already has a skull boss. You know what? Sometimes it's just tough to be as much of a dumbass as I am. You realize what I just did? I can give you 1 second to guess what I just did. Like, I don't want to tell you right away because you're going to realize what just happened. So I want you to have that satisfaction of snarking. That's right. I came back here to get these seals of binding and then I put them all back in my stash when I cleared all the shit out. I'm just stunning. Stunning. I'm telling you. But you couldn't learn this game from a better source than me, honestly. Once again, I do take some cold comfort from the fact that actually really nobody watches these because otherwise it's just be highly embarrassing. Sort of begs the question why I'm bothering to do this. It's fun. I don't know why. What was that? Oh, right. Yeah, they give you a little blessing. And this is kind of because you're going out to do a boss fight for them. So they actually are kind enough to throw you the bone of giving you a little bit of a buff. And this is kind of, it just says your weapons are enchanted. I don't even know what it does, but I would assume that if you were a melee character who was going to toe-to-toe these bosses, they're like, yeah, you need this, you dumbass. Why did I run down here? It's just crazy. Just watching this happen. I'm sure like a neuroscientist could watch my videos and just be like, what's going on with this guy? Bring him in the lab and just see if there's anything happening on an whatever. Functional magnetic resonance scan. Again, like I said in the last video, I haven't eaten in a while. I'm pretty relaxed. Brain's not really working too well. I'm shut down for the evening. It's fine. Don't expect me to string words together. Again, begging the question why I'm recording. Because I feel like it. That's actually, I sort of have the primary reason I started bothering to record Let's Plays in an era post Let's Play, because I mean, let's be honest, nobody's watching Let's Plays anymore. So even if I was doing quality Let's Plays, which again, I'm not, still nobody would be watching them, right? Like, I don't even really watch Let's Plays anymore. I watch stuff like, you know, I'm over on like Indie Mouse's channel or like Civi 11. I just want to see somebody like, you know, summarize a game with a little bit of entertaining and some sweet ass editing. I don't even know how to edit video, so I mean that's not a thing that you're gonna see here, like, at all. But you know, that's what I like, so why would you do this? Well, what I originally figured is I'm like, you know, it creates a structured thing where I can go into all the games that I own, because like everyone, I just own a million, but I don't play them, right? Like I just buy shit, put it in my library, forget about it. This is a quest, by the way, these spawns here. We need to clear this place so they can start cutting lumber again. Logistics. Amateurs do tactics. Professionals do logistics. But yeah, so originally, like, I kind of started doing this, which I haven't done for very long at all, just so that I would, like, you know, pull a game out of the library and then have some kind of structured way of sticking with it, right? Starting to work on it, running through it entirely. And that's kind of the hope. So that's what I started with. But this game here, I'm kind of playing it, you know, just because I really enjoy this game. I would say it's probably right up amongst my favorites. I find it very relaxing to play. So I'm just kind of, you know, this one I just kind of wanted to share. Just sit here and enjoy it and blither on about nonsense while I do so. I am really enjoying something else right now, though. I've been spending a few nights losing track of exactly what time it was playing Star Valor, which just hit 1.0, I think maybe a week or so ago. Little top-down, like, very reminiscent game of, like, Star Control if you're as old as me, or Space Pirates versus Zombies if you're not. I think I might have mentioned that in a video that I made the other day as well. Really cool game. So much fun. It has very satisfying progression mechanics. You know, like sizing up ships, bettering your design, you know, improving your ships by reducing space requirements and, you know, upgrading materials. There's all these kind of little really satisfying systems, and also spaceships. So it's basically the best of all things, right? Satisfying progression, spaceships. Been playing that a lot. Worth checking out. Okay, let's wrap. And then see how this goes. Quite well. Goes quite well. No big surprise there. These are actually pretty good for not this character, but potentially another one I'm thinking of. I never really play. What's it called? I don't know what the class combo is called, but Necromancer and Occultist. They are a very strong pet build. I don't play them because I'm lazy. And one of the things about them is your pets go down a lot because you don't have the healing capabilities that the Ritualist has, right? The Ritualist can keep pumping their pets full of health using Wendigo Totem and their Magdragon's Pact and stuff like that. Whereas, you know, you have to resummon a lot when you're playing whatever that combo is. still, though, I want to try it because it definitely is powerful. You know, that Blight Fiend Hellhound scenario is pretty good. And the fire buff synergies that you get with Skellies as well, because obviously you've got the Meteor Skellies. Could be fun. Could be something I step into. And those Rifthound Greaves are excellent for that build. Not like they're best in slot or anything, but they're just good, you know. Anything that has total speed for pets is a good thing, right? Like, you always have to kind of take a close look. Is a secret, by the way, and a good one at that. You always kind of have to take a close look when you're sort of deciding what gear to kit out with, because normally you'll just be attracted to the plus damage, but plus speed is often better damage, right? Because your minions will kind of build threat faster, they'll move from target to target faster. It can be better. It can definitely be better for overall DPS to build speed over flat plus damage, unless it's a huge chunk of plus damage, in which case you're pretty much always better off just taking it. Like 100% more physical damage, it's like, yeah, okay, that's a good one right there. So this little area right here, village of Darkvale. So this is basically a village with a lot of lore going on in it. And essentially what happened is, you know, as the Grim Dawn kicked off, this is kind of where the one of the places where the Bloodsworn kicked into gear. And if you go through here and you read the lore, you'll sort of watch the process of them sort of infiltrating the town, you know, kind of coming in as a cult that sort of attracted people, you know, hey, these are real uncertain times, you know, we're offering this, you know, this cult, this family that you can sort of go to for support in these crazy times. And then eventually we're going to hang all your bodies over the bathtubs and drain your blood into a giant vat. And you can kind of compose the story of what happened, you know, through all these notes and journals that you'll find through here. In this particular case, we are not going to read them all because it ain't that type of playthrough. But this is the town technically where I became intolerant of Bloodsworn. They did some real nasty shit here, and they are anything but the reasonable guys. Because let's be honest, this is not a setting where there are good guys. Like, just give up on finding the good guys in this. Everyone's kind of a prick. But these guys I find to be very high on the prick scale. Sort of the ones that I love to kill above the others. The Ethereal is kind of that way too. The Ethereals, there's a bit of depth there that's kind of interesting, and it's something I'll hopefully remember to talk about when we find the dude in the Ashes of Malmuth expansion. But you actually get to talk to Ethereals in that, or at least one. And they are kind of like, you'll hear from them all the time, like, you know, when you kill an ethereal, one of the sort of the possessed, right? Like, you'll see some ethereals that are basically just people, right? So they're like sorcerers, essentially. They're possessed and using powers through the vessel that they're possessing, which is exactly us. They're taken, right? And a lot of times, you know, you'll kill them and you'll hear, you know, death is only the beginning, or something crazy like that. And basically what that is, well, you didn't really kill the ethereal. The ethereals are kind of like spirits. You're not killing them. You're just driving them out of their hosts. And you actually get to go to these sort of ethereal realms in that DLC. And when you do that, you end up actually talking to, I'm going to potentially die here. It's a little bit inconvenient. All right, I'm just going to book it. Too many dots on me there. All right, there we go. Health is back up. Did I just go down instead of up? No, fine. Like, we actually won there, but I just did not want to hang around and see if anybody had one last thing to hit me with and take me down. But yeah, so you end up talking to this ethereal, and you realize that you know, you find him and he's sort of imprisoned by the ethereals, and you're like, yeah, what the hell is this, you know? And he's like, and he is possessing a person at the time, right? So he's in a human body, but he's very clearly a Taken. Except he's like, hey, I'm not here to fight you. You know, I came to this realm, and you know, maybe got a little too close. Like once I got into this host, I started to feel emotions. I felt joy, like I felt lust, like I felt all these things that ethereals don't feel. And now they're going to take me back, and they're going to tear me apart because I've gone native, so to speak, you know. So you get this really interesting look into the ethereals, where basically you start to realize that there's politics here. Like actually, you know, like some of the ethereals are under investigation, like Warden Krieg, for example. Well, he was possessed, but the ethereals are kind of pissed at him, like he was torturing humans, and they're like, that's not the point, right? Like we're not here to do that. We're here to, you know, terraform this place basically, but you don't have to make it more uncomfortable than. So you realize that there's some depth there that you might not have expected, basically, which I think is cool, because nobody in this game are the good guys, like I say, but very few of them also end up being completely faceless bad guys either. Like even these assholes, I don't like them, but realistically, you know, they are a cult. Like they have been taken in, and the same being true of the what are they called, the chosen. They think they're the good guys, like they really honestly do, and you can even play on their side as allies. Like you can be taken in by the same sort of cult leader that the rest of them have been taken in by. This guy here I'm going to be careful with, because he can be a bit of a dick. He summons those crystals, which can cause a fair amount of damage to you if you stand near them at an inconvenient time. Of course, I summon these totems, which can cause a fair amount of damage to you if you stand near them, so he's found that out. So that was... yeah, kind of one of the main bosses. I think that might have completed a quest, can't remember. But we also have this here, which I'm going to clear right now as well and get myself another sweet, sweet devotion point, which I think will be finishing that eel one. So there we go, boom, plus 6% speed. And now we're starting to get really close here to unlocking the lightning bolt. We do need a little more ascended, a little more purple. So we're going to have to track something down that gives us purple. But is still useful. That technically is. Because remember, my Bloody Pox ability is in the background a lot of the time, but it is doing bleed damage, so you know, that's not terrible. That would give us a little bit as well. I've got to take a better look at it. Now's not the time. We'll just keep pressing on. But yeah. I'll have to figure out what path I want to take. Once again, there's so little lock-in in this game. Like you can always turn back, but just for right now, I'm gonna press ahead instead of trying to plan it. And we have another cache in. So basically, the cache in we have now is we cleared up the lumber camp. So, like I say, professionals do logistics, and we're helping with that. There we go. All right, that said, though, we have just unlocked a waypoint in a pretty big level with a pretty big boss at the end of it, a whole bunch of that stuff. But I'm getting a little bit tired here. Once again, late night. And so I think I'm going to go ahead and call it 5 minutes early this time, since we've got a bunch of content that we'll be getting into. And I hope you've enjoyed this sort of rambling session. And I'm really enjoying QuestySparks here, and I hope if anyone watches this, they also enjoy them. Till next time.